So friends, let's see today's beautiful recipe of Russian salad. Now here I've taken about two medium-sized potatoes, washed them well, peeled them, and I'm going to chop them up into these small even-sized cubes. Now I've kept some water at the side because I'm going to chop these potatoes into small cubes and then I'm going to put them in the water so that they don't discolor. So we want them into this even-sized small cubes. Next, we're going to cube up the pineapple. So just remove the center and then cube the remaining pineapple. You're not going to use the center. So I've used about three large slices of pineapple. So basically, you require at least 3/4 of a bowl of all of the ingredients. Next, I'm going to take two carrots. Now I love using these orange carrots, but even if you get the red carrots, it's fine. Now just cut them up. Now I would like to remove the center, the center part, and then we're going to chop them up into small cubes. We don't want very small cubes, just about this size. Now I've soaked about 8 to 10 French beans in some water to which I've added a little salt for 10 minutes, washed them, dried them well, and then remove the edges. You need to remove the edges, otherwise you'll get these stringy kind of, consistency. And again, chop the French beans. Now you can prep all of this and keep everything ready, and when you want to make your salad, you just go ahead. Now I've taken half an apple and I've removed the core and I've removed the peel also. Don't throw away the peel. You can eat the peel. It's, very rich in vitamins. But for the salad, I have removed the peel. Now this apple adds real crunch to this salad. Now you can go with the entire apple also. So all our ingredients are ready. Now we need to cook the potatoes. So I've just taken some water, about 4 to 5 cups of water. Let it heat a bit. And I'm going to add the potatoes. Then I'm going to bring the potatoes to a gentle boil, checking in between. Now we don't want overcooked potatoes. We don't want it to be of the boiled potatoes consistency. We want them to be firm, yet they should be cooked. So just take them out in the middle and just check them with your knife. The knife should go, completely through the potato, or you can even, taste the potato and see whether it's cooked. We don't want it mushy, but we want it to be cooked. So keep checking. It should take about 5 minutes. And then drain the potatoes out and put them in a bowl. Now to the same boiling water, we're going to add the chopped up carrots. Now we don't want to overcook the carrots, so just for a minute, we're going to let them heat in this water. And again, we're going to drain the carrots and put them in a bowl. We're going to do the same thing with our French beans also. Just, kind of cook them just for a minute, not even a minute. Like the minute it hits the water, just for some time, let it boil and then take it out, because we don't want them mushy, but we want them to be firm, yet they should be cooked. So when you eat them in the salad, you don't find them extra crunchy, but just the right texture. Now you can increase the amount of the veggies also. You can add more carrots, you can add more French beans, you can even add green peas if you like. So now we are ready with all our ingredients. So now we can start making our lovely Russian salad. So I've taken a large salad mixing bowl. I'm going to add the potatoes. I'm going to add the French beans. Now try not to get any of the water of the vegetables into the salad. Then I'm going to add my carrots. I'm going to add my chopped up apples, my pineapples, and I'm going to mix all of this really well together. Doesn't it look lovely already with all the lovely colorful veggies and fruits? Now I'm going to season it with some pepper powder. So I'm going with half a teaspoon, but you can add to taste. Then I'm going to add some salt. Mix everything well together so that the salt and the pepper nicely coat all the veggies and fruits. Give it a taste, guys, because then you come to know if you want to add more salt, if you want to add more pepper. And then I'm going to go with 1 cup of mayo, but then I really added a little bit more later, about half a cup more. So you add the mayo also according to your how much mayo you want in your Russian salad. Now, those who want to keep it completely veg can go for the eggless mayo. Otherwise, you can go for the classic mayo. And just mix everything, and don't forget to chill it before serving it, because it should be had nice and chilled. And this is a lovely salad. Do try it out, friends. So friends, let's start with today's lovely recipe. Now this recipe is a Goan traditional recipe, and it's really easy and simple yet delicious. Now I've taken about 1 tablespoon of ghee or clarified butter in a pan, and I've taken about a medium sized onion, sliced it really fine. I'm going to toss it around in the ghee for some time, and then I'm going to add a pinch of sugar, and I'm going to caramelize this, or make it nice and dark, golden brown in color and nice and crispy. This is going to be a garnish for the pulao. So this should take you exactly 5 minutes on a low to medium flame. So once the onions have nicely caramelized and browned, you can just take them out and keep them aside. Now in the same ghee, I'm going to add about quarter cup of cashew nuts and kishmish or raisins. Fry them well and take them and keep them aside. Now in our whole spices, I'm going to use 2 cardamoms or elaichis, 6 cloves or lavang, and half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini. Then I'm going to be using 1 medium-sized onion, which I've chopped up, 1 cup of rice. This is basmati rice or long grain rice. Just wash it well and soak it in some water for 15 minutes. 2 cups of coconut milk, the thick coconut milk, and just half a teaspoon of saffron or haldi powder. That's all we require. So I've heated about a tablespoon of ghee in a pan. I'm going to add my whole spices. I'm going to let the spices fry well so that it flavors the ghee. Then I'm going to add my chopped up onion, and I'm going to fry the onion till it turns a little translucent. Next, I'm going to drain the water from the rice, and I'm going to add that to the onions and the spices. Now fry the rice for about 2 minutes in this lovely ghee. This will be on a low to medium flame. So just fry the rice well. Now we're going to add the haldi powder. Now this is if you want a yellow color. If you want to keep the white color for the pulao, then just skip this step of adding the turmeric or the haldi powder. So just fry it well, because that will give you, you won't get a mushy pulao. You'll get a nice, where the grains are nicely separated, a nice and lovely light pulao. Now I'm going to flavor it with some salt to taste and about a pinch of sugar. Again, mix everything nicely. And now I'm going to add the thick coconut milk. So this is double the quantity of the rice. So if you're using 1 cup of rice, you use 2 cups of thick coconut milk. Now mix everything well. After that, just put your flame on high and let this mixture start to bubble or start to boil vigorously on a high flame. Do not stir it at all. Let it come to a nice boil. It should take you about half a minute or so for the liquid to start boiling. This is on a high flame. And you will see that everything starts to bubble and come towards the center. So let the entire liquid start boiling vigorously on a high flame. And when that happens, just give it 1 stir, and then after that, lower the flame to the to low, and then just cover it and cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes, just checking in between. Now just give it 1 light stir on a low flame again. after about 5 minutes, and again cover and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. Just keep doing this, once or twice, very gently. And now I've put the flame off, and you can see that the rice is nice and ready. So now you can transfer this to your serving bowl and then just garnish it with the onions. Just crush up the onions a bit because now they've cooled down, so you can crush them up. And then the lovely kishmish and cashew nuts. So here our rose com coco or coconut pulao, a lovely Goan traditional recipe, is all ready. I hope you like this recipe, guys. So friends, let's see today's delicious corn cutlets. So here I have 2 cups of corn. I've just added some water to the corn, and I'm going to steam it in my steamer. Alternatively, you can also cook it in a normal pot with some water for about 5 to 10 minutes till it gets nice and cooked. And once it is cooked, we're going to just drain off all the excess water. So now if you press any of the corn, you can just see that it's nice and cooked. Also, don't overcook it. Now I've taken about 3/4 of the corn and ground it to a coarse paste, and I'm going to retain 1/4. I'm going to retain 1/4 of the corn as it is. Now I'm also going to make a coarse paste of 2 cloves of garlic, 1 inch of ginger, and 3 green chilies. I'm using the light green chilies over here. And I'm also going to add 1/4 of a cup of coconut and again grind this to a coarse paste. We're not looking for a smooth paste, but a little bit of a coarse paste. So this is what your paste should look like once it's ground. Now let's take a look at all the other ingredients that we need for this recipe. Here I have 1 small capsicum that I've finely chopped. These are 2 carrots that I've grated. I've used the orange carrots. 1 small onion chopped really fine. 1/4 cup of fresh coriander chopped really fine. The juice of 1 small lemon. Now I also am going to be using 2 medium-sized potatoes that I've boiled, peeled and mashed. This is about 5 slices of bread that I've ground to, make some breadcrumbs. This is 3/4 cup of rice flour. Now if you don't have rice flour, you can use all-purpose flour or even corn flour. Some salt to taste. This is cumin powder, coriander powder, red chili powder, chaat masala. So that's about it. So now I'm going to add the corn, that is the coarsely ground corn along with the whole corn, to a large mixing bowl. I'm going to add in my grated carrots. Then I'm going to add the capsicum, the onion, the coriander or dhania. Then I'm going to add the mashed potato. I'm going to add the cumin powder, the coriander powder, the chili powder. And now I'm just going to mix everything really, really well. So you can prepare this and keep it in your refrigerator, or you can even, once the entire mixture is ready, you can form them into small cutlets and refrigerate them. And then whenever you feel like, just, shallow fry them. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste, a little bit of chaat masala. Then I'm going to add this ground paste of coconut, ginger, garlic, and green chilies. Add the lemon juice. And again give everything a good mix. I'm doing this in stages because then it gets really nicely mixed. If you put everything together, then it becomes a little bit of, it becomes too much to mix at one time. Now I'm going to add just 3 teaspoons of rice flour. Like I said, if you don't have rice flour, you can use all-purpose flour or you can use corn flour also. And just a handful of breadcrumbs, and mix everything nicely together. And then I'm just going to form small cutlets like these. So first form them into balls and then just press them down like this. Don't make them too big. They look nice when they're little, this size. Not too small and not too big. And try to make all of them evenly sized. Now I'm going to add some water to the rice flour, and I'm going to make a slurry. It shouldn't be thick, it should be runny. So you'll see the consistency. This is the consistency we're looking for. Very watery, but make it very smooth so that there are no lumps in it. Now another alternative is also that you can add a little bit of cheese. This is completely optional, but you can add a little bit of grated cheese or a small cheese cube in the center of this cutlet also to make it more interesting, and then seal it up very well. This is optional, like I said, you don't need to add the cheese, but if you feel like you can. And now once all our cutlets are ready, we're going to dip it into this rice flour slurry, then into the breadcrumbs and keep them aside. So you can make as little as you want and store them, or make all of them and then store them. And then I'm just going to shallow fry them. Now alternatively you can deep fry them too, but I prefer shallow frying them. And then see that they're nice and crispy and golden brown on both sides. So keep turning them at intervals so that they don't get overcooked or over browned. So just keep turning them like this and press them down a bit to flatten them a little. And see that they're nice and golden brown on both sides. And that's it, guys. They're all ready. And you can serve them with your favorite sauce. I like a combination of tomato ketchup and some sriracha. It tastes amazing. So I hope you give this recipe a try. It's super simple and really, really delicious. So friends, let's make today's delicious and easy coconut cake. So here in a bowl, I'm going to be adding 3 eggs. Next, we're going to add half a cup of powdered sugar, which is around 50 grams. We're going to whisk it for 2 minutes till the eggs and the powdered sugar get mixed really well. You can use an electric whisk too. Now I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. Mix everything well for a minute. Now I'm going to add half a cup of thick coconut milk. Whisk again for 1 minute. Next, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of semolina, which is rava or suji. I like to use the fine rava for this recipe. Now mix everything well together. 1 teaspoon of baking powder, fold the mixture in well. Till all of the baking powder is nicely integrated with the rest of the ingredients. And now I'm going to add 1.5 cup of freshly grated coconut. Now for those of you who don't have freshly grated coconut, you can also use desiccated coconut. Mix everything well together. Fold the mixture. And we're going to set this aside for some time. Preheat your oven. Set this aside for 10 minutes. And now pour the batter into your baking cake tin and bake at 180 degrees Celsius for 30 minutes, and you'll get your lovely golden brown coconut cake. It's really delicious. You must try it out. So friends, let's see what ingredients we require for both making the sugar syrup as well as the Gulab Jammun. So here I'm taking about 1 cup of sugar. This is for making the sugar syrup, also called the pak. And I'm going to be using half a cup of water. Now I also am going to be using 5 or 6 elaichis or cardamoms, which I have peeled, and then I have just crushed them using a mortar and pestle into a very fine powder. You can also buy the store-bought elaichi powder. Now we're going to add the sugar to the water in a vessel, and we are going to simmer it for about 15 to 20 minutes or till the sugar starts dissolving in the water and becomes into a thick syrup. Now for some lovely color, we're going to add some saffron strands. You can also use some saffron syrup and let it boil for some time so you get this lovely color to the sugar syrup. And then we're going to add the elaichi powder or the cardamom powder, give it a mix, and then simmer again for about 5 minutes more or a minute more. Now we're going to make the gulab jams. For that I'm using half a cup of milk powder. Then we're going to be using 1 tablespoon of maida or all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of very fine rava or semolina, 2.5 tablespoons of milk. You can have some warm milk, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice or lime juice, and 1 tablespoon of clarified butter or ghee. So let's start making these lovely gulab jamuns. So now in a plate, I'm going to be adding the milk powder. To that, I'm going to be adding the maida or the all-purpose flour, as well as the rava or the semolina. We're going to give all of this a mix and add the ghee too. Now I like to warm the ghee a little. Then we're going to add the juice of about 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. We're also going to add the milk. Now I warmed the milk to a little bit, not hot, but just a little warm. And we're going to mix everything well together. And then we have to knead this into a soft dough. It's very easy to knead, and since the milk and the ghee or clarified butter is a little bit warm, you're able to knead it really fast. Now I've added a few drops of ghee so that I get a nice smooth texture to my dough, and it's easier to knead too. Now I've used the very fine rava or semolina. It's easier to work with. And once we have nicely kneaded the dough, we're going to cover it and keep it for about 10 to 15 minutes. I've also transferred the sugar syrup into a bowl. Now after 10 to 15 minutes, our dough is all ready to use. I'm going to be putting a few drops of ghee on my hands, and that makes it easier to roll these small little balls. So try to make them even size so that they all look the same. And the dough is so easy to work with. So just make them into little tiny even sized balls. And now, after making the gulab jams, it's time to deep fry them. So I've taken about 4 to 5 tablespoons of oil, heated it up, and we're going to fry just about 5 or 6 at a time. And keep an eye on it and continuously keep moving the gulab jams around and let them get evenly browned, let them become nice and golden brown in color. They really turn golden brown very, very quickly, so you have to work with it very fast and don't leave it unattended. Otherwise, they will burn. And keep your sugar syrup ready. So the minute they turn into this beautiful gulab jam color, just drop them directly into your sugar syrup. And don't overcrowd your pan. Just keep about 5 to 6 minimum and just keep stirring them around very gently. And you'll see that they nicely puff up a bit and they become into these beautiful crispy little golden balls. So here they're all ready. I got about 15 to 16 of these gulab jamuns with the quantity I used. And now just evenly coat them with the lovely sugar syrup, and you can serve them either hot or refrigerate them for an hour or so and serve them chilled. Anyway, they taste really, really delicious.
Everyone, and welcome to Akshata's Recipes. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching today's recipe. I hope you give it a try, and if you liked it, then don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to Akshata's Recipes by hitting the red subscribe button that you see just below this video, and once you have subscribed, click the bell so every time I put up a new video, you'll be the first one to know. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I'll catch you in my next one. Bye!